On a chilling, moonless night where each gust of wind carries the sting of frost, a lonely train plows its way through the barren heart of the desolate countryside. This land, bereft of any signs of life, is swallowed whole by an inky darkness as deep as an abyss. This obsidian blanket transforms the once familiar landscape into a never-ending labyrinth of shadows and obscurity. The only thing puncturing this thick shroud of nothingness is the relentless, undeterred resolve of the train, a metallic leviathan charging through the abyss. This archaic behemoth, a relic from the days of steam and iron, cleaves through the gelid night like a hot knife through butter. Its powerful engine hums a grim lullaby, a chilling harmonization of iron against iron. Tonight the night is alive not with the usual orchestra of chirping crickets or hooting owls, but with the distant yet omnipresent thrum of the train's engine, an eerie symphony of mechanical heartbeats that resonate through the empty compartments. This haunting tune imparts a disquieting rhythm to the night, a melancholic melody that threads an uncanny solitude into the fabric of the approaching dawn. The train itself is a hulking silhouette against the obsidian night, its outline visible only due to the soft, unsettling glow of the carriage lights. These lights flicker like the undulating pulse of a doubtful heart, casting a sickly pallor on the frost-kissed windows that paint ghostly shadows on the frigid glass. These shadows, shifting and contorting with the undulating rhythm of the train, perform an ethereal shadow play, a spectral performance that whispers of untold mysteries and silenced tales. Inside the train, the coaches are eerily deserted, save for the sporadic passenger. An unusual emptiness prevails, seeping into each compartment, nook and corner like an infectious malaise. This silence, thick and oppressive, hangs in the air like an ominous specter, its presence more palpable and chilling than the biting cold outside. The passengers, scarce and scattered, nestled in the hollow echo of their seats, wrapped in their thoughts, are acutely aware of this eerie atmosphere. Their eyes, vacant and distant, stare out of the frost-kissed windows, as if searching for a beacon in the endless expanse of obsidian. Each heartbeat a symphony of pain and anticipation. The train continues its spectral journey, undeterred by the deafening silence and the unseen enigmas. Each clack of the wheels against the cold iron tracks is a grim reminder of the unstoppable passage of time, a ticking clock to an unknown destination. The passengers, wrapped in layers of unease, are oblivious to the spectral journey they have embarked upon, each lost in their own cocoon of anticipation. The train, a lonely sentinel, carries on against the biting chill, its voyage an eerie tale painted with strokes of solitude, anticipation, and looming mysteries. The tranquility of the night was abruptly disrupted by the jangling sound of keys and a frosty, ethereal voice declaring the forthcoming station. As the announcement reverberated through the confines of the carriage, a spine-chilling wind swept in, causing the flickering lights to falter and dim. The startled passengers clutched their coats tighter, the chill seeping into their bones. The temperature plummeted as a weighty sense of dread enveloped the atmosphere. The spectral conductor, an apparition from a different world, made his entrance. His voice, icy cold and resonating through the train, instilled an uncanny silence. His phantasmal figure seemed to materialize from the very shadows, a sight so shocking that it instilled terror even in the most seasoned travelers. This spectral conductor was far from being an ordinary train staff. He was an entity from a different plane of existence, his mere presence enough to make the air freeze. His eyes, bereft of any warmth, gleamed with an alien light. His ghostly figure floated gracefully, his movements as fluid and silent as a specter. An arctic chill followed him wherever he went, a hair-raising testament to his otherworldly nature. His bone-chilling presence made the already terrified passengers shiver uncontrollably, their breaths forming frosty clouds in the icy air. Despite their escalating discomfort, they found themselves unable to move, held captive in their seats by an invisible, powerful force. The spectral conductor glided effortlessly through the carriage, his phantom-like figure flickering in the dim, faltering light. His gaze, cold and unblinking, studied the terrified passengers. They watched him in mute terror, their hearts pounding like war drums in their chests. It seemed as though he was collecting more than just tickets, almost like he was harvesting their palpable fear. The oppressive dread intensified as he moved closer, his ghostly form becoming more solid, more real. The carriage was filled with a suffocating silence, the tension so tangible it felt as though it could be sliced with a blade. Every passenger was ensnared, unable to break free from the spectral conductor's icy, unyielding grip. The only sound that interrupted this silent terror was the rhythmic clattering of the train against the tracks, a grim harbinger of their journey into the unknown. A handful of courageous souls attempted to escape this waking nightmare, but found themselves paralyzed, as if chained by unseen spectral bonds. Their desperate cries for help were swallowed by the all-consuming silence of the night. The spectral conductor moved through the carriage, his collection not limited to mere tickets, as the train hurtled onwards into the unforgiving darkness of the night. The train roared on, its thundering speed unchecked, tearing through time and space like a comet lost in the cosmos. Its destination was unknown, a spectral locomotive on a track spun from the darkest shadows and woven with the threads of uncertainty. An untamed beast birthed from the abyss, it barreled relentlessly through the stark void, the pounding rhythm of its iron heart a mesmerizing yet terrifying symphony. The landscape blurred by, an ever-changing canvas of unfamiliar terrain, was a whirlwind of cosmic horror and spectral beauty. Station platforms ghosted past in rapid succession, all unnoticed, all untouched, like the fleeting reflections of a dream fading into the oblivion of the waking world. The captive audience inside the beastly locomotive could only stare in fascination and dread, their hearts echoing the monstrous cadence of the train's relentless journey. Pale hands, trembling fear and the burden of desperation, reached out for the emergency brake. Their futile attempts to stop the iron beast were met with stoic resistance. It was like wrestling with the intangible shadows of despair itself, their struggles only serving to amplify the mirth of the spectral conductor. His voice echoed through the carriage, a chilling symphony that intertwined with the relentless rhythm of the train's monstrous iron heart, a haunting refrain that seemed to mock their futile attempts at escape. The train, bearing the eerie resemblance to the mythical river Styx, was not a mundane vessel of transit. It was a spectral ferry of souls, a celestial chariot on a journey not towards the familiar comfort of their homes, but towards a destination shrouded in dread and uncertainty. Each thunderous beat of the train's heart, each hollow note of the conductor's laughter, was a cruel reminder of their fate, a chilling echo of the madness that had ensnared them. The train, like an unstoppable force of nature, continued its relentless journey, its tracks woven from shadows and uncertainty leading to an ominous, unknown, final destination. As the endless hours bled into days and nights, the passengers came to a chilling realization. They were ensnared in a journey that had no apparent end. The incessant tick-tock of the clock was a stark reminder of their doom, each tick a haunting echo of the terrible future, a ticking time bomb of despair. Their hearts pounded in their chests like a death knell, fear painting their eyes with a wide, haunted look. They huddled together for comfort, their breaths hitching in their throats, the air thick with a sense of impending doom that was impossible to shake off. Thoughts of home, of familiar faces and warm embraces were all but a whisper in the wind, overshadowed by the terror of their current plight. A train, once a beacon of hope and the thrill of the unknown, had now morphed into a grotesque iron beast, carrying them deeper into the abyss of despair and hopelessness. The beast bore down on them, its iron wheels clanging relentlessly against the tracks, its rhythm a chilling lullaby against the backdrop of the silent night. Desperation gnawed at the edges of their sanity, their whispered pleas and quiet sobs the only sounds punctuating the heavy silence. They tried, oh how they tried, to escape this unending nightmare. But each feeble attempt was met with the chilling laughter of the spectral conductor, a laughter that sent a bone-deep chill coursing through their veins. The laughter reverberated through the carriage like an icy wind, leaving a trail of dread in its wake. This was not just a journey, this was a one-way voyage into the murky depths of oblivion. The realization hit them like a thunderbolt, shattering their hopes of ever returning to their loved ones. The once bustling carriage, filled with chatter and laughter, was now eerily silent, a silence so profound that it was almost suffocating, broken only by the heart-wrenching screams of despair that hung heavy in the air, echoes swallowed by the relentless roar of the phantom train. As the spectral essence filled the air, the train slid into the engulfing darkness. Once shimmering lights now reduced to mere glowing embers in the distance. The train, like a specter, vanished into the night, leaving only a trail of mist and a haunting silence in its wake. The passengers, once vibrant and brimming with hope, were now nothing more than fleeting memories. The train had taken them, swallowed them whole into its dark abyss, leaving no trace behind, no sign of existence. The shrill echo of its whistle was the only vestige of its existence, a chilling reminder of the unanswered question. Where had the passengers vanished? What had become of their lives, their dreams, their hopes?